nice to get away for a bit and see some people for the first time in 2 years. So wait for it was. Yeah, the wedding, we went up last Tuesday. The wedding was on the weekend past on Saturday. So fly up instead of 20 hours of driving each way. Absolutely better. Yeah, we saw some of the old candies, so like Guy and Lindsay and Heather and David Rush and Michelle. It was nice. Good. Everybody doing older, doing the best they can. Yeah. She has a 4.3 out of 4.3. So, yeah. What's it? She didn't really want to wear a dress, so she said, you know what, I'm gonna look into getting a tux. And it was so easy. Like, you go into your local shop, they do your fitting and everything, and you just say, like, I need to pick it up in this city, and everything's ready. There was a snafu with the vest, but everything was arranged so they had time to get the right vest in for her. And when you're done, you just drop it back off again. I'm telling you, like, somebody needs to open a business to have 5,000 or 6,000 dresses and 5 new fabrics. Just go in, get fitted, pay your rental, boom, done. So, without too much further ado, keeping moving along shortly. It's been a while since we played, so a recap to catch me up since the train wasn't present at the last game. So it's a refresher for everyone. Where did I put my notes for this session? But I found it. Here. Perfect. Alrighty. So last time we played, which was a month ago, maybe a little bit more. You guys were making plans to go back to Magmel, where you heard that that R1 was going to be. Mm-hmm. When kind of an emergency call came out, a Tok'ra operative named Ustal came through the gate. He had been working hand in hand with Phoenix 8 on a world that was rumored to hold some sort of ancient healing technology. Just a world covered in ruins. They were ambushed by Jaffa forces. Phoenix 8 was captured. He managed to get through the gate to kind of call in some help. Before he escaped, though, he overheard them talking about something called the scabbard, or some word loosely translated as scabbard. It's very evident that the Jaffa forces weren't there to capture anybody. They, luck of the draw, they just happened to find the team. They were actually on this planet looking for something. Odds are it's probably the same ancient technology that Phoenix 8 was in the process of trying to recover. So you guys gathered your things very quickly and gated through to P17932. General Lawyer expecting the landing zone to be hot, and it was. You encountered some of R1's Jaffa right around the gate. Defeated them fairly handedly. I believe some grenades were used.
We brought heavy weapons this time.
You did bring some heavier weapons with you this time. And then proceeded to make your way into the ruins. Other teams came through with you, and you've basically divided the area off into like a grid sector for searching to try to find Phoenix 8. You guys were tasked with the northwest grid sector. Along the way, you did encounter the first time some of these augmented cauldron-born Jaffa, who proved to be much more difficult to put down than your standard Jaffa. They definitely seem to exhibit a higher degree of resilience, and also seem to be capable of knitting their bodies back together when they took some damage.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you did manage to triangulate and get a signal, not a lock per se, but at least rough directions and distance to where Phoenix 8 may be, and we're about to make your way off in that direction.
So we just finished a scene of combat where Doyle earned the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yes, we did. Jumping on a grenade.
Doyle jumped on a grenade, saving the bulk of the team.
And losing half his HP.
Yeah.
Only half his HP.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll grow as the tale gets told.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mind you, with secret operations like Stargate, what are the odds of this actually reaching Congress?
Congress is well aware of Stargate. They've tried to shut it down numerous times.
Yeah. You'll get a medal and it'll show on your service record, but the details will be different.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I think it's Senator Kelly that's the stickler for shutting things down.
Senator Kelly.
Asshole.
It's always Senator Kelly.
Yeah, but it's because he's the head of a special division that is allowed to see this. Not all of Congress that knows, right?
Kinsey. Robert
Correct.
Kinsey.
There.
Yeah, Kinsey's the pain in the ass.
Yeah. I think he is with NID, maybe?
No, Kinsey's a senator that's trying to shut down Stargate through Appropriations Committee.
Yeah, he's on the Appropriations Committee, which means he gets to see a lot of the black books.
Yep.
Where the money is spent, and he's trying to cut the money to Stargate.
Yep. But yes, rest assured, Doyle's valor will be noted, but the particulars will be redacted and possibly even altered in your official record.
Sharpied over.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys are having like a little bit of a breather after this encounter with the Cauldron-born, there's a little bit of switching out of teams as. Since you guys are probably, you guys have engaged in combat and are the ones that have a lock on to Phoenix 8. So they will retask Entreyu with you since you're closer to finding the prisoners who may or may not need aid. And one of the other teams who's searching the ruins for this technology or this scabbard is going to take Ares to kind of buff up their scientific knowledge.
We're playing without Ares today?
Yeah, his Wi-Fi there on the ship in Belgium is spotty at best.
Okay.
So he sent me a message to basically we're just gonna task Ares somewhere and then he'll catch up and he'll be back home next week. So
Okay. I see that. Yeah, here.
So that means we've got a medic that can heal Doyle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Woohoo, medics.
So Entreu, as you kind of like reconvene with your team, they do look fairly torn up, really.
Actually, everybody was fine. Doyle's the only one who got hit.
Mari
They,
took,
they have Hollywood damage. Their costume shows signs of combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Mary is pretty badly dinged up. I mean, her symbiote
Okay.
is doing what it can, but she could use either some rest and relaxation or some medical help, one or the other.
Rest or relaxation or a hospital. You know.
Or-
Fortunately, I bring a hospital with me.
No, we're going to take 2 days off for R&R. I'm fine with that.
Just gonna reconfigure my map here.
A 2 Cauldron Born. And these guys were so fucking hard to get down.
They were, but you do have them present in case anybody wants to see if they can ascertain anything from the bodies or anything of that nature.
Oh. That seems biological in nature,
Mostly.
mostly.
So now that we have a doctor, let's are we jumping into action right now, or is there any? I know normally we cue the music and all kinds of stuff, but
I don't think I have the music for Stargate.
That's fine.
that's fine.
Oh wait, maybe I do.
I just want to know if we're starting now, or if there's any other exposition and or backup questions that we want to have before we get started in the session.
That's it for exposition from me, but if you guys have any questions or clarifications, since it has been quite a while since we played, feel free to ask.
I figure I was tied up with my medical research at base until now.
Yeah, you kind of came through with one of the rear guard teams. Finish up your last minute research and going like, okay, last boat's leaving. I guess I better grab this one.
Yeah.
But yes, if you guys have no questions or clarification, I think from last time, then we will jump in. Tegan should be along relatively soon.
Sure.
So I'll try you as you kind of reconvene with your team. Dorla and Amari both look pretty badly scuffed up in a non-Hollywood fashion.
Lieutenant Doyle, you seem to have suffered some fairly nearly catastrophic wounds.
Been better.
Well, as you don't have a symbiote, allow me to attend to you first, and then I'll take a look at Amari here.
Yeah, there might still be some chunks of metals left in me. You might want to pull that out.
Chris,
that's generally part of the treatment.
Chris, there were these two. I'm going to use the term Jaffa loosely here, but the two Jaffa that are here, those are the only ones we saw. However, we did use explosives on these guys. I remember missing some grenades and stuff. Can I peek out, go a little bit further to the left here, just to see if someone hurt us, or to man this hallway here? That it looks like a hallway on the left here.
It's open terrain, so it's more of a sidewalk.
Okay, because I kind of want to go here and just make sure see if there's anything coming our way, because we made a ton of noise.
Gotcha. Yeah. Take a look around. It doesn't seem like anything has noticed you, but it's possible that even though you made a lot of noise, any other opposing troops may have been just a little bit further away and may not have heard it or been able to pinpoint where it came from, because explosions are kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where they are.
Also, there's a lot of it, there's fighting, right? So, it's normal to have explosions. They fought their way through, right? So, Okie doke.
They did.
So I'm just keeping a lookout while the doctor is doing his doctory things.
Alrighty.
Hey, quick question like this. For the doctor to join us, it took an hour, so that's a short rest, right?
It is, yes.
So a short rest allows you to regenerate one hit die of HP,
Yep.
plus either proficiency or constitution bonus, whichever is a higher.
Nice.
Yep.
So that's 1d8 plus 3 for me. Without intervention of the doctor yet.
Oh, I have 1d10.
Yes, and the intervention of the doctor that's not bound by the normal one
Oops.
heal per scene combat rule.
Woohoo! 1 hit point plus.
Yeah, so I get 6. No, you get more than 1d10. It's 1d10 plus constitution bonus or proficiency bonus.
So I got 4.
So I got 6.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm grumpy. Absolutely.
Tension dies D6s.
D8 actually.
Oh, so it's the same as my normal. Okay. And I realized as I'm looking around that I seem to have misplaced my Stargate book.
I got the PDF open if you need me to check something.
Yeah, I know I also get my wisdom modifier, but I wasn't sure if I got anything beyond that.
I think you get your wisdom and your proficiency bonus both.
That makes sense.
So what, first aid?
Yeah, as a medic.
Well, first aid allows you to heal a wounded team member as an action rather than during a short rest. Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, once I hit my proficiency 5, it's not a limited action either.
Yep.
Yeah. So at level 5, you may add your wisdom modifier to the damage you heal with a med kit.
Okay.
Yep. And first aid allows you to add your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
So both. Nice. So yeah, so Entreu starts applying some of these strange alien salves and unguents, and the other thing is to Doyle, and there's like a tingling sensation as you're, the shrapnel starts to force its way out of your body, and the wounds start to close up a bit, and you heal for 16.
Andre, is that necessary? It smells.
Yeah, but
well,
that
I
feels
do also
great.
have a powder pin here that you can take a sniff of that will make sure you don't smell it.
No, I'm good.
16 brings me exactly at full health.
It also works as double duty as something to awaken someone who's passed out.
Yeah,
That's kind of gooey.
No, I meant the covering salt.
powder.
Yes. The aromatherapy.
Hey, thanks. That really hit the spot.
Okay, Chris, we're still
Yep.
looking for our fallen or our missing Phoenix site people, right?
Correct.
And then Entreu goes over to tend to Mari to make sure in better shape.
Thank you. Yeah, those it's been a while since I've been on the receiving end of a Amatok blast. So
Yeah, most people don't get to say that statement.
good times.
Look, is there anyone that can help figure out where our team members are? Because they could be anywhere on this planet at this point. What is standard Jaffa procedure if you take prisoners? Where would they be?
Take prisoners. That would depend on what the first prime or or their liege had instructed. Assuming they took prisoners, they would need to keep them at an encampment or something of the nature. They can't have. I mean, they can't be too far if they came through the gate.
Chris,
Yep.
what do we have like transponders or anything like that, like a distress signal that we can search for on a radio, or is there any indication of where they would be? Because we walked through the gate into hostile territory. The only thing we got in terms of note was that there were bad guys. They could literally be anywhere on this planet now, right?
Yes. But last time you guys did triangulate a signal, which you are presuming to be a distress beacon from Phoenix 8.
Okay. Sorry, I had forgotten that piece.
Yep.
So, what direction is it in?
It is in like a northwesterly direction. You don't know the exact distance, but you do know that your radios only have a range of about 5 kilometers.
I meant on this map. Is it left or up?
Oh, on this map, it's
Doesn't matter.
it's largely irrelevant on this map.
Okay.
If there's an encampment, there's probably some kind of campfire. Do we see any smoke on the horizon?
You can give me a perception check.
Good call.
Is there an advantage? Is it normal, or is there a disadvantage?
It would normally be disadvantage due to range, but advantage because of the binoculars, so flat roll.
Okay.
So Doral kind of clampers up onto like one of these, blasted away walls and kind of like scans the horizon, and you do see some signs of smoke off to the direction that the signal is broadcasting from. It's probably 3 or 4 kilometers away. You don't know for certain if it's a campfire per se.
It could be a burning building.
Could be a burning building. It could just be, remnants from an explosive device having gone off. But there's definite signs of activity in that direction.
There's somebody there, whoever it is.
Correct.
Badly aimed talk blast.
Okay, let's start heading out in that direction. Is Tegan here?
Yep, I'm here.
Yep.
Hey, Tegan, welcome aboard.
Sorry, it took a little bit longer. There's a train on the tracks.
Greetings,
Okay,
Captain.
convenient.
Okay, so who is best to take point here? I normally do. I just want to double check that I am still the best person to take point.
Based on what?
My stealth score?
What's stealth?
Exactly. This is why I'm taking point. So I'm going to trailblaze here, Chris,
Okay.
heading in that general direction, and I'm going to try to keep a lookout, and I'm going to be, let's say, 30 to 60 feet ahead of the group, because they're slightly less stealthy than I am, to try to avoid any kind of potential issues and lead them forward in a military hand signal kind of way.
Gotcha. Okay. Give me both a stealth roll and a perception roll.
I'm decently stealthy, but not as perceptive. But I'm also not likely to come up with an idea to engage something or engage if I see something.
So very stealthy, not super perceptive-y.
Invisibly step on someone.
Well, I mean, you rolled a 20 and a 10. If this was Torg, it'd be going well.
Very true. That would be an amazing Torg roll. For those of you that don't know, on Torg, your 20s and 10s explode.
I don't want my stealth to explode.
Yeah, we've had enough explosions for.
Yeah, exactly.
For this time.
Cinematic stealth instead of just good stealth.
So, Chris, what does that do? What does that mean for us?
I am just setting up some things.
Uh-oh.
That's what that means.
That means encounter a clock.
That's what that means. All right. So you're a little bit ahead of the team, probably. Probably not super far ahead, just in case, because there's some dangerous opponents around.
Yeah.
Making your way through the rubble and stuff of this this ancient ruin. And you spot up ahead, kind of moving, kind of towards you, but not like they've seen you or anything, but just kind of headed in your direction. You see a small group of Jaffa and 2 Cauldron-born, and they seem to be escorting prisoners.
Ooh, that's perfect. I'm gonna scan ahead. Just look, I guess.
So yeah, with your perception, you see there's 2 Cauldron-born and 3 Jaffa, and the Jaffa have their helmets up, and they are definitely R1's Jaffa.
They're looking for trouble. Oh, they're looking for trouble.
They're not. They don't seem to be like, they don't have their weapons at the ready or anything. Like their Matok staffs are like slung. They're just escorting prisoners, but it looks like they're probably a just in case as opposed to actively looking for trouble.
Tokar prisoners are known troublemakers.
Fair. I'm more of the let me be a little bit more specific. What kind of prisoners do they have? Do they have our people, or do they have like random civilians?
It looks like 1 or 2 of them you recognize from having seen them around base. You don't necessarily know for certain if they are part of the scientific archaeological team that was working this dig, or whether they're part of Phoenix 8 as a military unit. But they're definitely people you've seen around the base.
Okay, so these are allies that are under guard. How many of them are there, you said?
Looks like there's 4 prisoners, 3 Jaffa and 2 Cauldron-born.
And I know it's only been a while. How do I differentiate the Cauldron-born from the Jaffa, or are the people who have their masks on? Could they also be Cauldron-born? I'm just curious if I'm walking into a situation where there's actually 7 Cauldron-born as opposed to just 2.
You take a moment thinking about this. You're like, oh, shit, how bad is this? And you do notice that the 3 with their helmets up, they are communicating to one another, and the other 2 are not.
So they're talking, and we know that the Cauldron-born do not speak. They do not have vocal cords.
Correct.
Wonderful. In this layout that you have, my assumption is they're moving southwards.
They are.
Okay. I am going to signal for my team to hang back and see if they can get a line of sight. So I'm pointing to my eyes and pointing to that area. See if they can get a line of sight to that group. Are they going quickly? Are the prisoners giving any kind of like difficulty, or are they just like marching along to the beat of their captor's drum?
The prisoners are moving slowly. Like they've been through a bit, so you know they're
Okay.
They're not deliberately like lollygagging, but they are
Wounded
moving.
and trying to go.
Yeah, not so much wounded, like Hollywood wounded, and moving appropriately.
Okay. Fantastic.
Nice.
They're waiting to be
Hollywood
rescued by
wounded.
Judah Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hollywood wounded is a great term, so thanks for that, B.
You're welcome.
So after I give my orders to my team, I'll let them set up if they do so.
So what are we behind that's hiding everything? Oh,
I'll
Looks
just
like a piano.
I'll remove.
It's a sled
Uh,
or slide.
it's just like a broken chunk of some sort of metal.
okay. So we can hide behind it and use it as cover.
You can hide behind it and use it as cover. You can kind of peek over. That's why I took away the wall, because I'm assuming you guys are like peeking over the top.
Yep.
And they do not seem to have spotted you. These guys are not terribly perceptive.
It's
Well,
the Jaffa in them.
This is gonna turn into combat scene pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried because the last time that we fought the Cauldron-born, they took forever to kill. However, the fact that those Jaffa are wielding Matok staffs is a lot of damage that can be outputted in a very short amount of time.
Remember, we had 2 Cauldron-born and had trouble. Now it's 2 plus 3 Jaffa.
Okay.
And one of us jumped on a grenade last game, so.
Yeah,
That's
let's
correct.
try not to do this again.
Yeah. So
It's not in my plans.
Do we remember where did anyone keep a hand on the rules of the grenade? 'Cause I think it was like a stupid amount, like a 30-foot radius or something crazy like that.
The grenade launcher, or just the grenade?
Just the grenade, because the grenade uses the same thing as a grenade launcher, right? So it was like 3 meters or something like that.
It's a 3 meter radius.
And if this scatters, it's going to hurt our people, right?
Kind of depends on which direction it scatters.
And who throws it?
I'm gonna fire the grenade here to kick us off. My goal is to try to incapacitate at least these 3 Jaffa, so it'll be back to 2 Cauldron Born. And here's
Okay.
hoping that they're really mindless and need to take orders from the Jaffa to be able to do anything, and hopefully killing them will stop the orders. Maybe. And they'll just keep moving forward to the base. I don't know. So if I remember correctly, that's a straight up weapons roll. And the weapons were not working properly. If I remember correctly, the weapons rolling.
No, your weapons are fine.
Yeah, it's page
No.
157. Some attacks like grenades target a point rather than a combatant.
Yeah.
Hit a point, it's AC 15. And if the attack misses, it misses by 1 meter by difference of with that 15. And then you get to roll a d6 to figure out if it goes short or it goes long.
What I mean to say is that the rolling isn't fixed, right? I just clicked on attack here. It went gray, but there's no die that was.
Oh yeah, no, that's still worked.
Okay, so, and then I'll add my proficiency bonus, and then it's a dexterity.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ah,
Are you for
fuck.
real?
Oh,
Okay, okay. How many meters of difference? Like,
that's gonna be 8 meters
14.
difference.
What the hell?
you
I've
could have
never.
been. Oh, fuck. That's short. Did you just drop a grenade at your
On
foot?
us? I'm shooting it backwards. Is what I'm doing.
No.
No, you forgot to actually prime the launcher. It just slid out the tube.
It's on the slide.
Instead of thump, it went sloop.
It's gonna be something like this, right?
Yeah, right about there.
Well, guess I get
Well,
to start off
I'm
combat.
sorry, that was
giving
your
them
attack,
disadvantage.
right? You have time to do a move action before it blows up, right?
I don't think it
So,
works that way.
I mean, not as a shitpost. It does look like there's something on the map. Does that mean that Jaime has slight cover?
He does have some cover, which will give him advantage on his dexterity save.
That would be great. Except, yeah,
Stop it with a
Yeah.
grenade.
we brought a grenade launcher for a reason.
Do it ourselves?
Apparently, I mean, I guess a grenade that might hit me is better than a bullet that does hit me. Shoot
On
myself in the foot.
on the plus side, looking at it, it says at the beginning of your next turn, the grenade explodes, dealing damage to all targets within the blast radius. So you go thump, and it goes thunk 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 thunk. So you do have time to react because it's not going to blow up until your actual turn.
Oh, fascinating. Very.
I mean, does this count as a? It's clearly we didn't throw this grenade. The attack will become somewhere else for it to be in this
Okay.
direction.
So what
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to give you guys a round to do whatever. Like, Major is like lining up the grenade launcher. He's like, okay, ready, and then he like fires it, and it goes ding 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 ding.
Sorry, guys. Apparently, I was still holding the biological magnet I used to pull the shards out of Doyle.
Yeah, apparently. Okay.
But everybody can do a thing, and then we're going to roll initiative. And on the Major's initiative, at the
That's when
At
my grenade drops out.
that so your grenade drops off on kind of the surprise round,
Okay.
and then at the start of your actual turn is when the grenade is going to go off.
So I still have actions that I can do this turn.
You still have a movement, and if you have anything that gives you a bonus action.
I have a surge, which allows me to take an additional action. So I could potentially move, pick up that grenade, and re-chuck it at those people.
You could, yes.
I'll do that.
I'm kind of worried here. How bad can it turn into?
Well, never asked that question in a shit show table.
Yes.
Hey,
Okay,
I fucking jumped on a grenade last time.
Why is it only measuring me instead of moving?
Oh, you're probably still clicked on the right angle thing. Click on the little
So-
meeple.
So I'm going to go over here. As a
Heard of
move.
it, rectum.
I'm going to use Surge. Gives me an additional action on my turn, but I must complete a short or long rest before I can use this ability again.
Okay.
And I will rethrow the primed grenade.
Okay.
Oops.
Are you for freaking real?
Well, if it was a 1 again, I would say it just slides down your sleeve, but at least it wasn't a 1.
Okay, so it goes 4 meters short.
Which is back on me.
Well, no, not as bad.
No, it would be right about there based off where you were aiming previously.
Nice.
Could have been worse.
So that is where the grenade finally ends after a bunch of frantic scrambling.
And they've seen you.
Yeah. All right. The rest of you get to do a thing before we roll some initiative.
I'm trying to decide. Do I want to join? Can I throw a grenade that far just to join into the bad idea party?
Yes.
You
It
can.
would have been a great idea if we could roll.
Yep. So yeah, grenades have a 20-meter throw range. So.
Athletics?
Nope. Just dexterity and proficiency bonus if you are proficient with grenades or explosives.
I am proficient with explosives.
So D20 plus your dex plus 3.
$11.
So
All right. So where
That's
were
meters too
you trying to throw it?
I probably should have actually gotten. Oh, I'm sorry. Probably should have. I was gonna try to get like the back corner. So like I don't know if I can ping the map.
Okay. So right there. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
so that's 4 meters further.
I find it amazing that lobbing a grenade into a correct square is oftentimes more difficult than actually hitting the AC of a monster.
Sometimes. Well, the thing with the grenade though, right? Like even though Sam missed.
It still goes
Yeah.
off? Yes, we're aware.
Yeah. But they missed in such a way that it catches the Cauldron-born at the back.
Yeah, fair.
So. All right. That leaves us with Doyle and Treyu.
Doyle is gonna take cover behind whatever that is and shoot a 3-round burst at Cauldron Born number 2.
Okay.
So you say the system for rolling dice is fucked?
Yeah. That is a hit.
Okay, what's the damage again on that P90?
On the 3-round burst?
Yeah.
For you, it would be 46, and then the 3-round burst, I believe, lets you add the tension die as well.
Yeah, I think so.
So 46 plus 1d8 plus your dex bonus.
$46 plus 1d8, you say?
Yep.
And plus proficiency, right?
Plus dexterity.
Okay, but does proficiency add too?
No, proficiency is to hit.
Okay.
Oof.
That's still a 24.
So yeah, so grenades get thrown. You take up position. You're gonna flick onto 3-round bursts and put 3 rounds into that cauldron born. Now the bullets, as the bullets hit the body, you can see it like kind of jerking in this weird motion, and then it just kind of like spins at the waist with a cracking sound in your direction.
And I'm removing 3 bullets from the count.
Okay, Andreu.
Mine's comparatively easy compared to everyone else. So I'm not actually blind. I'm just going to use it to mark that I've gone invisible, and I'm going to try and loop around to extract our people while the firefight goes on.
Okay, perfect.
Someone's using their non-military head. I love it.
Give you a grenade. It's not a weapon. It's just a chunk of metal you're throwing around.
I know exactly what a grenade does to a body before I had to extract parts from you.
And Omari. She's going to move up to the other side of Doyle. And the problem with the Matok is they have such a shitty range.
That's not a problem.
It is when they're on your side. But she will fire.
Didn't you or the Zat get a better range than the staff?
No way.
And the Matak has your city range to explain all the Stormtrooper fire in the series. They're always firing at like an extreme range.
Well, she'll take the 18 though. So she comes running up beside Doyle, kind of takes cover behind the piece of metal, kind of yells down like, "Major, duck!" and then fires off a Matok blast and catches that Cauldron-born square in the chest.
And the Major remains unturned into a waterfowl.
I was going to make a similar joke.
Yeah, as long as we're on the same page.
Oh, by the way, I'm not kidding you. The short range on a Matok staff is 5 meters, and the short range on a Zat Nyctatel is 10 meters. So the Zat has better range.
Yep. Alrighty. Time to roll some initiative. Just remember, before you roll, you can decide to take the majors if you like.
I warn you, this game hates me in terms of rolls so far.
Nah.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
That is me rolling initiative for a bunch of NPCs.
I'll do my usual and take my own.
Yeah, me too.
Excellent. I go in amidst most of the survivors.
The survivors. I like that.
You're just gonna pick up the pieces.
Hit.
Fuck!
Right.
You guys suck.
Yeah. Jaime, you can roll again because you have advantage on initiative.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh,
I
true.
do.
Yeah, that's supposed to help your initiative roll. Supposed
It's
to.
not letting me roll again.
Just roll a d20 plus 2.
Nice.
It also means my grenade's going off before anyone gets to move. So
Alrighty.
That's pretty ideal for how they got placed.
Yep. So that would be Major's grenade goes off. Kaboom!
can I ask a very weird question? How
Sure.
come her circle has extra spaces than my circle doesn't, even though they're both centered on a spot?
Might just depend on where exactly.
No, they're both in the center of a square.
Yeah, just the template added the extra stickouts where it's more than half of those spaces.
Weird. Yeah, that one should be slightly smaller.
Oh, I guess it depends
Yeah.
how. Like, are you at 2.99 meters or 3.01 on that radius?
Yeah, they both say 3. Weird.
It's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying, because in her template, it would hit 2 of my gold.
Yeah, but you
On
said
my
that.
template, it only hits 1.
Yeah, you set that at
Yeah.
3 meters by hand. It's
Yeah.
analog, right? It's not 3 meters exactly.
Yeah. And that's just it. It should be 3 meters out from that square. So yours would actually catch all 3 of your Jaffa.
Cool.
Go by the circle and not the squares.
Okay, fair.
So 66 damage.
I like 66 damage. It's
Nice.
not bad. It's not bad at all. I thought that was going to be a 20.
That's bad.
No, it's because that's their saving throws. It's good for us. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, I
That
think
might
it's
not
dead.
be bad. The one closest to the blast gets the brunt of it, it seems.
Well, that's fitting. So yeah, the your grenade goes off, and the Jaffa that's in front takes the brunt of it. Like he just kind of like reels back into his friends, and if it wasn't for the fact that those other Jaffa are right there behind him, he would probably have been blown back a couple of feet and not gotten up. But they just kind of like edged him to his feet with his 1 remaining hit point. You're up as far as actual turn goes, though.
Okay, so I'm going to finish off the guy who just came up.
Okay.
I'm going to take a single shot, which gives me advantage if I remember correctly.
It does.
Yeah, but you're not undercover. You're gonna get shot, man.
I can still move afterwards.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
can only use that advantage of the reflex sight if you're not moving that round.
Oh, right. So I'm
Yep.
only gonna. You're right. So I'm gonna do the 3-round burst, which allows me to still deal damage but move. Correct?
Exactly.
Yep. 12
I
is a
suck.
miss.
I suck, and then I will move into cover. 1, 2. Is this difficult terrain? Does it cost me extra squares to go over?
It does.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say here.
Jump back on the other side of things. Back grenade is gone. This guy, he notices what's going on, and he's gonna basically start like causing havoc. Basically, the survivors on their turn are going to assist you guys in the attacks, which will give you guys advantage as they're causing some ruckus.
That could have been useful 5 seconds ago.
Could be.
So I've got the same initiative, or what? What's the count now?
It's they have a 17, you have a 16.
Oh shit. Okay.
So this one comes running forward, unlimbering its Matok staff.
Shame it doesn't have curiosity to examine the strange metal cylinder.
No, it does not. It does not have any real brain to. If it wasn't for the fact that it sees enemies, it would probably actually just stand there and get blowed up. Mari is the closest.
I mean, Eries could have ordered it to pick up the metal cylinder.
Probably. But an 11 is not going to hit anybody. Doyle, you are up.
So, what's the situation with these 3 Jaffa?
They're standing there, it's kind of stunned. The one closest to you, the one kind of furthest to the right, he's like, his like helmet's been blown off. Like one of his arms is hanging. He's got like a chest full of shrapnel, bleeding profusely. The two behind him were somewhat shielded from the grenade blast, but still took some shrapnel hits.
Okay, so we're not gonna get rid of the Cauldron-born anytime soon. If we can reduce the number of Jaffa, that's already a gain. So
That's where, yeah.
I'll 3-round burst Jaffa number 3.
Okay.
So you see we had advantage right now?
You do, because the prisoners are like starting to cause up a fuss.
Yeah, I could use with some advantage.
Yeah.
That's a bit better.
There you go.
So 4d6 plus 1 d8
Yep.
plus 3.
Correct.
Nah, I've gotten better, but yeah, okay. 14.
That is enough to drop that Jaffa.
And I'm gonna remove 3 bullets from the count.
So as you're like getting ready to kind of line up your shot, one of the prisoners kind of like breaks and like runs towards him, kind of shoulder checks him a little bit, and as he's like a little off balance, you like line up your sight and drop him. That will take us to the wounded cauldron. Gets himself slightly repaired. Doesn't have quite enough movement to get over that.
If we remember last game, even though we had brought it down, we needed to damage their brain
Correct.
to turn them off. So we
All right.
finished them off with knives, right?
You did. He's going to shoot at Doyle. You do have +5 to your armor class from the cover, though.
Okay, good luck. I got 25 right now.
So yeah, the metallic blast kind of bounces off of that cover behind. Oh, Jaffa, who's still standing. He's going to fire. He is also going to fire at Doyle. It's not nearly as proficient. 22.
Well, I've got 20 plus that 5, so that 5 saved my ass.
Yep. So the cover takes the brunt of that, and the cover directly in front of you is looking pretty torn up. Jaffa is gonna start like basically the Jaffa that's over here with the prisoners. He's like one of them, like the guy beside him dropped. Prisoners is gonna break free. He's gonna try to corral the prisoners to basically hopefully try to use them as a hostage type of situation. So he's kind of like, back, and he kind of points the metallic staff at the prisoners, like daring you to continue. Otherwise, he is going to start eliminating prisoners. That will take us to Antreyu.
Well, he didn't leave me any interposed space. Damn it. Double moving in case you hadn't guessed.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll with advantage because you're invisible, just as you kind of get a little bit closer to this Cauldron-born, just in case he happens to hear you. Okay. Nope. You are fine.
Yeah. I kind of want the Jaffa to notice someone's there and shoot at me.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a chance to notice you yet. Like if you move from that space you're in, She'll
Yeah.
have a chance, but right now.
Now, if it wasn't a double move, I might have dropped out invisibility and told the survivors to keep backing up, like you said, into the bush,
Gotcha.
away from them.
All right, that will take us to Sam.
Ooh.
Well, clearly grenades are probably a bad idea at this point. Though, yeah, so actually, I realized if we got one between the cauldron board and that Jaffa, that could I actually throw one in the people that in the middle of the space where the people are approaching us, and it wouldn't fuck up our party member?
As long as you're on target, yes.
Is it worth the risk?
I can also bonus action to heal myself.
I mean, this is the fact that I'm going.
Remember, just
it's
remember
like-
that it doesn't explode this turn. It'll explode
Yeah.
next turn. So there'll be movement.
Yeah, I get
Well, I
to
don't
move
know if
before
the
your
fact
grenade
that-
goes off.
Is the fact that it's a shorter distance help at all?
Not really. It's still DC 15.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a try because the Cauldron-born kind of are a mess. Also, this will keep the one that's closest to Antreo from turning and seeing him.
Gotcha. Okay. So D20 plus Dex plus 3.
Yes! I rolled a 21.
It's because I'm there.
Perfect. So kind of like just kind of pop it in the center of them there.
Right, it's closer. Just a nice little lob. All right, what do I roll?
So it doesn't explode until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
So, but that will bring
And
us.
then, if this is an actual object, I'm trying to use it for partial cover.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you guys are all gonna like clamper down on like the far side of this wall. You know, backs to it. You know, periodically turning around to fire over it, throw a grenade. All very like cinematic-y. That will take us to the last survivor. And Omari.
She's recharging her staff weapon, right?
She is recharging her staff weapon.
She pops the tab, starts turning the crank.
No, it's got a hamster. You have to feed it.
Pops it open, slides some pellets in.
What will she do? She will once again wish that she had her ring that somebody wouldn't let her bring.
Well, maybe she can take one of my grenades.
And stick it up.
She has no idea how to use a grenade, so that would probably go badly.
It'd be worse than
Look,
what we're doing.
can you truly say that we know how to use grenades with these rolls?
That is very true.
Like a 15 AC, and I've got +3 with Dex. I mean, I still got 60% chance of failure. Oh, nice.
So yeah, she just kind of like slides across the top there, and as she does, she like whirls that staff around and brings it down on the like the neck area of that cauldron-born with a very sickening thud. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then scoots back slightly. Back around to the major.
All right. Okay, so he is really, really close. The cauldron one that's really, really close is still healing,
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
and the Jaffa that is nearest us he's been wounded once, right?
Yes.
Or is that the other one?
No, this is the one that is barely standing.
Okay, so I'll take him out. I
Okay.
don't need to move. I will take my advantage roll because Foundry hates me.
Okay.
It's got 1 HP anyways.
And then I don't know if that's enough, but I will roll. I'm not crit fishing. I just don't trust Foundry. I'm assuming one of those is a hit.
Both of those are a hit.
Oh, fantastic. So I only take the one, and he will take. What's my P96?
He'll take enough.
He will take more than 1 point of damage.
And he will die. There. I
Yeah.
don't need to roll dice.
So yeah, so as
And
he
then-
starts closing, you just pop up over the top and like kind of pick him off in the shoulder and drop him.
Are the Cauldron-born still firing weapons, or are they just trying to reach forward with their hands?
They have Matok staffs.
But they haven't fired them yet, right?
He did,
Okay.
and there's
They're
like a
recharging.
there's a hole in the cover near
Oh, that
near
was
Doyle.
him. It was. Sorry, I thought it was this Jaffa. The Jaffa I just
Both.
killed out of
It
fire.
was both of them.
Okay. Well then, there you go.
And Doyle is like hiding behind, going like shit, as the cover takes all of the damage.
Okay. I'm assuming this is also still cover.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna try to spread out a little bit, just to make it a little bit harder for them to hit us all at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay. Survivors are being cowed by Jaffa, so they're now help. That Cauldronborn. He's gonna move closer. Fire his Matok. Omari. $15 hits her. So yeah, so as she's like trying to scrape back, the Cauldronborn just lunges and like takes that the Matok staff and unleashes a blast and catches her and drives her back practically to the other side of the cover, and she lies very, very still for a second before she kind of like begrudgingly kind of gets to her feet.
She again got hit by Matok staff. Okay, well, better her than us, I guess.
It's not. Doyle, you're up.
I'm gonna pull Omari behind cover. Like,
Okay.
move her by 1 square.
Okay.
And I guess that's my action, so I'll move
Okay.
somewhere where the wall is a bit stronger, like this.
Okay. Perfect. That Cauldronborn. Is going to fire at the major.
I
No,
thought its staff was recharging.
his staff is recharging. So he's going to kind of clamp her up over it and bring the staff around and try to whack you with it. That is a 22 to hit the major.
That is a. Oh, it's a hit. Well, unless I get covered. No, I don't, because you jumped over it, right?
Yep.
That's a hit.
Only 8 damage.
That's totally survivable.
Lucky you.
He's still putzing about there with the prisoners. Andreu.
This is gonna suck.
That was just, I forgot the regeneration on that guy at the start of his turn.
Understandable.
Sorry to interrupt. Did the grenade go off? Doesn't go off till the start of my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll still get one of them. All right. So I'm gonna make myself a target here as I appear by this Jaffa and tell the survivors to get to cover. I've got him.
Okay.
There, Stargate equivalent to the Vulcan neck bench.
There actually are medical abilities to take people out, but I'm a strict pacifist.
Zat Nicotel.
There's also
There actually is things I could have taken that I get to roll and knock people out, but I'm a strict pacifist.
We'll double up in violence just for you.
but give me a call it a persuasion test to kind of get the Jaffa's attention. Actually, we could say persuasion, deception, or intimidation, kind of depending on your approach.
They're all the same for me.
Okay.
They're all +1 charisma. I mean, deception seems more appropriate because I'm trying to present myself as, a member of the team and a normal threat.
Sure.
When you are not a threat.
Oh, that die roll.
You're also not very deceptive.
No, I rarely am. I'm not. That's part of why everyone talked to me at the meeting with the primes.
Okay. All right. So the Jaffa is going to take an attack of opportunity at the guy as he's running.
I can't interpose. Boo! Boo! That was my die roll, but the opposite. Oh well, it means I can go treat him with my actual action.
So yeah, as one of the prisoners, like all of the prisoners run, but the one that was closest, the Jaffa just kind of swings out of that staff and just drops him to the ground.
Yeah, so I'll step in and give treatment to the one that he shot down as if he's not even worth my time.
Okay, perfect.
Who's next?
I think I'm next in the lineup.
Yes, you are.
All right, so my grenade goes off, which is going to be a little less effective since one of the Cauldron Born moved out. What do I roll?
66.
2 is fucked.
23.
So yeah, so the explosion goes off, kind of pushes that Cauldron Born up against the cover. Shrapnel stuff comes and falls around, and he kind of like shrugs it off and kind of stands up. Kind of that like unnatural, undead kind of bone cricking stand up way.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we're kind of just going for the it's attrition at this point with them.
Yep.
Massive damage. The only way to kill
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Right. So that was the grenade. You still have your turn.
All right, so I'm looking at the map. Sorry, I spaced out a little bit. So the survivors that are at the sides are ones that have gotten away, or
Yeah, and Tryu kind of like showed up over there and said like, quick, run, I got this.
right? Perfect. Okay. I probably have to jump up a little. Would I have to get up on this embankment, whatever, to shoot at the Cauldron Born, or can I do it from where I am?
No, you can just kind of pop your head over. They're not smart enough to actually use it as cover.
Perfect.
They walked up and went belly up to the bar.
Pretty much.
It's the P90. Right. I clicked the weapon to roll.
No, you have to do it with the dice tray.
Right. Sorry.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay, so it's the weapon plus what?
Plus dexterity and plus 3 for your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so same as the other thing.
Yep.
An 18.
That is a hit.
And it's 2d6 damage.
Your P90 would be 46.
Oh, I have the wrong information on my chart then.
Yep. Because at 5th level, everybody gets attack specialist, so choose a weapon and you do double damage with it.
Ah, okay.
Did you choose that or your pistol? Well, obviously that.
Yeah, it doesn't specify in the character sheet, so I assume people take the P90.
Hey,
Here's the bigger gun.
you can add your dexterity bonus to that damage.
Oh, that's just one more. So 15?
Okay, perfect. So kind of pop up, and yeah, these things like they're vaguely smart enough to like clamber over the cover to get to a target, but they're not smart enough to use it as cover to protect themselves. You just kind of like line up the shot and put a couple of holes through it. You can see like daylight kind of streaming through the body parts. Oh, Amari. Her staff is charged, and there's a Cauldron Born right there.
Somebody's getting whacked.
I'm just gonna have to do it in melee though.
Can't she just step back one spot and shoot?
She can't risk the attack of opportunity.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. If not for the survivor unconscious, she's technically my healing priority.
But that is a hit. Okay. So as this thing seems focused on the major, Omari comes up behind it, kind of like racks it on the back of the skull. The neck breaks, but the head is still mostly intact. And that will take us to the major.
All right. So mostly intact. Is it possible to restrain him so like that someone else can get an easier kill shot?
You can describe that as your method of giving the assist action, and then whoever attacks would have advantage.
Perfect. Let's do that. So I am going to try to martial arts this Cauldron Born to give Omari the ability, or anyone actually, to give the ability to kill strike Cauldron Born number 2.
Okay. Perfect.
And that would be, I don't have a roll for, I guess it's just strength.
If you're just doing the assist action to give them advantage, then you don't have to roll.
Then I am doing the assist action.
Okay. If you're trying to actually grapple them to like reduce their movement or to like pin them to the
No.
ground or something, then it's a roll.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay. That survivor will get to his feet and start to move away, kind of like nodding to Antreyu. Like, thank you. Cauldron Born over there. Heals. Heals, kind of. And it's going to attack Amari. Oh, for a minute there, it looked like he might miss. Amari drops. Doyle, you're up.
So what's the situation with Jaffa number 1?
He was basically trying to get into a position where he could be like, back up or I start killing hostages. And then Antreyu popped up and said like, hey, run, I got this. And so the hostages all broke and ran. So now he's like facing Antreyu.
So I wouldn't get advantage now shooting at him.
No.
Yeah, with Omari falling over, I think the Major needs help. Doyle's gonna run over here, and we still need to bring it down. We can't just get rid of it right now, right?
Correct. You need to bring it to 0 hit points and then drop it.
Okay, so
I'm still assisting though, right?
Yep. So you have advantage.
So I have advantage on that 3-round burst.
Yep.
And let's just see. Maybe I'll get a 20. Or not.
Or not.
The opposite of it. Well, you have advantage, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus 17. That's enough, right?
That is enough.
So that's 46 plus 1d8 plus 3.
Ooh, that was a great roll.
So removing another 3 bullets. These 60-round
there we go.
clips or magazines have a fucking lot of bullets in them.
They do. Okay. So you went up, you put 3 rounds into the thing, and it drops. Like you see it lay on the ground, not moving, not breathing, and then it just kind of twitches a little bit. And then it gets back to its feet.
Shame
But,
there's no attack of opportunity on it.
but that is its turn. This stuff over here is going to attack on Treyu.
At disadvantage because I healed before on my last action.
Yep.
Dodge.
So thankfully, perhaps it's momentarily confused by seeing someone display compassion and healing somebody, but for whatever reason, it stays its hand just ever so slightly enough for you to notice the attack coming in and kind of get yourself out of the way. But that brings us to your turn.
Oh, joy. Well, since it looks like the survivors are on their way, I'm going to have to take the chance at an attack of opportunity on me, I guess. As I need to go and pick up Amari.
Are you still invisible?
Oh no, I'm quite visible because I had to make sure that he had a target. So he didn't start shooting the survivors.
Yep. Remember, you can use your invisibility 3 times per long rest if you wanted to. So.
Yeah, second.
And if you're invisible, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity. So. That being said, you do have a pretty decent armor class.
No, I do want to actually draw his attention, unfortunately. I may turn visible again when I go to heal, but I don't want to give up part of my action getting over there.
Gotcha.
Either. Oh, that's going to kind of suck.
Okay. So, get all the way up there, but...
Yeah.
You do get tagged on your way out.
Well, the good news is, he had to recharge that weapon at least.
Yeah. So he just kind of swings out with the staff for 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and I'll use my bonus action for self-treatment.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Come again.
That was a great roll. Bonus action healing is amazing. It's why everybody considers healing word to be overpowered.
Yeah.
Like bonus action healing at range.
It's just action economy. You can do so much if you can heal and then do something else.
Exactly. That will bring us to Sam. Cauldron Reborn converts you on your location. You're up.
You did watch Entreyu slide between a Cauldron Born and the unconscious Amari, though.
Yeah.
Do we still get a bonus advantage on attack on Cauldron Born 2?
No, not currently.
Okay. So what the major does is only valid for one action.
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried.
We'll try.
Right. Sam is up.
All right, so we still have a Cauldron Born up right there. I guess I'm going to try to wear him down again.
Okay. You will be at disadvantage because you're kind of in melee with him. So as you bring your weapon around, he's going to knock it
Can I
away.
step back a little bit since he's...
Or you could take the single shot using your, without moving, using your rail sight to get advantage to break it even.
Yep. If you back
sure?
up, he'll get a free... actually, sorry, that's Entreyu out there. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong token entirely.
Yeah, I did slide in. That's me.
Yeah, I'm a block away.
Yep. Yeah, you're good. You can attack with no penalty.
It also gives Doyle a small buffer between him and it, too.
Yep.
16?
That is a hit.
Yeah, and Treyu is half cover for Doyle.
Yeah.
A self-repairing half cover.
Oh, that's a pathetic roll. And you said my dex to that, so that's
Yeah.
a total of 9.
Better than 8.
So yeah, perhaps being somewhat startled by Atreyu doing this like kind of baseball slide across the cover between the Cauldron Blorn and Doyle and Omari, you're like taking it back ever so slightly, and you can't line your shot up quite the way you wanted to. And Omari. Back around to the captain.
Or wrong captain.
Major.
Okay, so the one next to me
Yep.
that I was restraining is at 0 hit points, but is not dying yet because we didn't kill him.
It is
He dropped and got up.
Yeah, he dropped and got back up.
He acts after Doyle shoots him.
Okay, so if I want Doyle to kill him, I have to knock him down so Doyle can kill him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then I will do that. I will stand still. I will roll with advantage.
Okay. Disadvantage for being in melee, so straight roll.
Why don't you grab your combat knife?
Because I can roll a 13.
Unfortunately, as you bring your gun around, he basically bats it aside with the Matok staff.
Damn it! Do I have anything else I can do? I don't think
Any
so.
surge?
No, I just did a surge earlier to throw the grenade so it didn't explode in our faces. Well, no, it's only when I deal damage. Okay. Carry on. I guess
But
there's
next
nothing
turn, try to
else.
attack with your combat knife.
The Cauldron One here is going to swing its staff at Atreyu.
Oops.
For 18 damage.
Oof.
And I think this is the first time you guys have been hit in melee by one of these things. These Cauldronborn are considerably stronger than a regular Jaffa.
Uh-oh.
That'll take us to Doyle.
So at this rate, we'll never get rid of the...
No, we have to pile on one, kill it.
But with the order of action, if I can knock down...
Yeah, if you can
Cauldron
knock
number
down
one,
we have everyone else gets to go before it goes again.
Yeah. So I'll try that. The thing is that Entrayu's in the way, which gives half cover to Cauldronborn.
It doesn't, because the Cauldronborn is up on top of that cover, that wall you guys are hiding behind.
Okay.
Benefit of them being so damn dumb.
Yeah, it's like basically just standing in the open, just like, it's not even using the Matok staff with any great degree of skill. It's just basically clubbing him like the Neanderthal at the beginning of 2001.
Okay. Then if I decide not to move, I'll get the advantage. We really need to...
Yeah.
What's the roll to keep the highest?
2D
It's like
slash R space 2D20 KH and then plus whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. KH for keep highest.
for fuck's sake.
That stopped you from rolling a 1.
Barely.
Remove one bullet.
Alright. That one regenerates at the start of its turn. Major is right there. Only a 14 though, so that'll miss the major, I believe.
Yeah, I'm back at 19.
Yeah. But you notice like its wounds are healing over fairly quickly. Your best estimate is in under a minute it will be back to full capacity.
By the way, survivors. That's team number 8, right?
It's members of Phoenix 8 and part of the archaeological team and stuff. Folks you have seen around the base.
Okay.
So one of the survivors basically comes running in and he grabs like a dropped Matok staff from one of the Jaffa that got killed.
Blasted.
And fires away into that Jaffa over there that was threatening them earlier. Very obvious he's got no actual training with the Matok staff, but he does manage to catch it in the blast.
I mean, it was still a decent hit. I'll give him credit for that.
Fuck.
And then he catches the Matok blast back.
Oof.
We're playing my talk tag.
They are.
Just like painful laser tag.
But you can see now that the other survivors are, basically now that this one guy is kind of like let's get them. The rest of them are joining in. So they're basically just gonna deal with that Jaffa over there. Bringing us to Antreyu.
Yeah, as long as they do it without taking too much themselves, damage-wise.
Yeah.
All right. First, I will tend Omari, and then I'll bonus action tend myself.
Okay. Okay. Sam, you're up.
There, now the Cauldron Born will have disadvantage.
Yep.
I can't really use a grenade, so really all I can do is hoping to do well enough on shooting it that it wears down.
These things are really tough. There's got to be a better way to handle this. Do we not have a Zat Nicotel that we can use on them or something?
We tried. It doesn't work.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they kind of need the full working nerve system. But since they're immune to fatigue.
Have we tried flamethrowers?
We said we were going to bring that next time.
Got 22 total.
That is definitely a hit.
I have a suspicion that I might be able to manufacture something to use against them. And I
15
might be able to
damage?
justify it.
I mean, they're technically dead, right?
Sorry.
Oh no,
hey,
they're very actively dead.
They're dead.
reanimated.
They're
I'm
dead,
sorry,
but they
did-
regenerate.
Did Sam shoot one bullet, or was that a 3-round burst?
It's whatever he's been having me roll every time.
Okay, because if it's a one shot, one bullet, you could have re-rolled and maybe get a critical.
That's true.
Or otherwise, if it's a 3-round burst, you get to add 1d8 damage.
Cool.
So do we add 1d8 damage?
Yeah, may as well roll the D8.
It brings it to 18, and there's a cat chewing on my foot.
Ooh,
Cat.
beefy foot.
Okay. Amari, no longer unconscious, will struggle to their feet. She'll look over at the major and say, like, get your knife ready.
I nod at her.
She basically just brings that Metoxaf up and kind of like grabs it around the chest of the Cauldronborn, holding it still, ready to be stabbed. Basically, it is out until it regenerates. So that will bring us around to the major.
Perfect. So now I'm going to. So if it is unconscious now, I have a question for you.
Yep.
Is it more likely for me to be able to kill it with advantage with a bullet, or because I'm in melee, will it still have advantage? Will I still suffer a disadvantage?
Yeah. You don't actually have to roll. You just need to take the action to finish
Then
it.
I take the action to finish it.
Okay. So yeah, you
You're
can.
using that knife as a Q-tip.
Absolutely. Through his orbital socket into the back of his brain or through his temple. Whichever one gives better results. Holy crap. How many rounds did we spend on this one guy? Like
5.
4? 5?
This is the 5th round.
Now imagine if we had prioritized them instead of the regular Jaffa.
We'd still have the Jaffa shooting at us.
Yes.
All right. There are. It's going to attack Amari.
You've got some kind of attack staff.
Oh!
Oh, shit.
Well, last turn he cracked me physically versus
She's
blasting.
going down.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Only 29 damage.
Well, I still got the record of the game with 31 right now.
So as Amari's holding this other Cauldronborn, the major like stabs it in the side of the head to like disable the brain. The other one comes around and like 2 hands on that Matok staff and just swings it hard, and there's this sickening crunching sound as Amari hits the ground. Doyle, you're up.
I'm gonna one-shot it.
Okay.
Ah, god damn it. Is 15 enough?
15 is a hit.
Okay, so that's 4d6 plus 3. I've seen better.
That one is still standing. Over there, the survivors managed to finish off the Jaffa that's over there. It'll be able to assist you next round should you need it. Andreu.
Oh, I guess I'll tend to Amari again.
Is there a tending to Amari?
She's listed as unconscious, not dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not dead. She took 29 damage, but she was at 22 hit points after the first round of healing, so not quite enough to instantly kill her.
Plus, I give advantage on death saves because I'm right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and they need 1 fewer to stabilize, even if I don't tend to them.
Oh, nice.
Like 1 fewer success or 1 less on the die roll?
1 fewer success.
Yeah. It's only 2 instead of 3.
Yeah.
So that brings her to like 3
No, because there's no negative hit points.
HP.
So it actually brings her to 10.
Nice.
Yeah, with 5th edition, they got rid of negative hit points, so you stop at 0.
Okay.
It's just you have to make a certain number of death saves or die.
Yep. You have to. Death saves are unmodified, 10 or better for success. 3 failures, you die. 3 successes, you stabilize. If you roll a nat 1, counts as 2 failures. If you roll a nat 20, you
Gain a hit point.
gain a hit point. And the important thing is death saves are made at the start of your turn. So if you roll that nat 20, you can get back up.
So there is no constitution bonus or something like that.
Nope, just a flat 10 or better.
Oh shit.
But there are things like Antreyu has things that give advantage as long as he is beside you when you're making death saves, and you only need 2 instead of 3. And I think there's a feat you can get which lower the difficulty from a 10 down to a 9, and then I think a 9 down to an 8.
Can you spend determination points and lower it again?
I'd probably allow it.
Yeah, determination
sheer
to
force of
not
will.
die. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally would.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't if the tension die was like a D10 or a D12.
The cinematic risk die.
That'll take us to Sam. There is one Cauldronborn left.
Okay, so it's I either roll with advantage or I do an extra D8.
Correct.
I feel like the odds are actually better in my favor just doing the one. So. Well, I shot myself in the foot on that.
No. It wasn't a 1. It was a 2.
So that was a 3-round burst.
Amari gets to her feet, glares at this Cauldronborn, takes a hold of her Hermitox staff. It's like,
You shall not pass.
she'll look over at the mage and say, like,
Again.
next time I'm bringing my ring.
I mean, if it kills him.
Next time I'm bringing your ring myself.
Oh yeah, you'll finally be able to fire a weapon, won't you?
Yeah.
These things don't count.
That'll take us to the major.
Okay, so there's no way it's no way to know how much damage it is, but you did say that in a minute it'll be back up to full, right? That was a little while ago.
Yep.
So its wounds are knitting, but it's still taking a significant amount of damage. So I want to put
Correct.
it down, and if I don't have the initiative order for some reason.
Click on the little fisty icon. If you right click on it, it'll actually pop it out. And then that way you can see the chat and the...
Oh, there it is.
of it.
What's
Okay.
next?
Okay, so it's next. So it would come back to life if I
Yep.
bring it down, right?
The main thing that you have noticed is that when it's put down, it regenerates slightly slower, i.e. it regenerates at the end of its turn when it's down instead of the start of its turn, which means it won't be able to get up and attack right away.
Okay, fair. So my dice rolling sucks. I am going to take a single shot for
Okay.
advantage,
Okay.
which is +6. I need to copy this. Okay, roll, and then roll. You for fucking real?
Sadly.
Okay.
There, in my Sunday D&D game, it's Josh that gets those rolls.
I played D&D last night. Luckily, I had advantage because I was under bless. But the second roll on 5 of my consecutive rolls was a 1.
For my D&D game, it doesn't work with other games, unfortunately, but the meaty quality of life thing will actually track your dice rolling stats, so you can see what numbers everybody rolls over however many hundreds of rolls. So I looked because it seems like Josh rolls poorly in our D&D game, and I looked at the stats. It's like when his luck comes due, that is going to be a hell of a game for him.
He's rolling 20% out of sub 10.
Yeah, it's significantly worse than everybody else.
And the timing on that, because until you got that, my rolls were worse than his.
Yes. But let's just say, because it backtracks, so even the bad rolls that you've had are not as consistently bad as his. Like, it's just, like, I feel bad for him.
It's not dead, Jim.
All right. The Cauldronborn. Well, he's got Amari still there.
Up and down and up and down.
No, that'll miss. She will stay standing this turn. That will bring us to Doyle.
Yeah, we'll one-shot it again.
Okay. So yeah, so there's this furious like back and forth clacking of Matak staff on Matak staff as the two of them. Like on the plus side, you don't have to worry about him deciding to take a blast at somebody because he's engaged in melee combat with her. That is definitely a hit. That will drop him down.
I was gonna say, with him engaged with her in melee, it means I can potentially keep keeping her up now that he missed one.
That will take us to Antreyu.
Well, I mean, she's still scuffed and/or wounded, so
Yep. She is definitely wounded.
Can't you do brain removal surgery on the guy?
there you go, Amari.
She'll like look over and she'll give like a nod of thanks. Sam, you're up.
God, I've spent almost as much time as in her innards as her symbiote.
Okay, so the cauldron board is unconscious. If I remember correctly, we have to basically coup de grace it with a knife.
Yes. You don't have to roll or anything. You just have to use your action to do so.
I'd like to use my action to do that.
Perfect. And with that, this
Does he go down?
it did. Daryl dropped it, and then Sam jumped on it with her knife. Their knife.
I thought it was gonna heal before it got back up.
Yeah. It's dead.
No, it was just in the timing range.
And the survivors, they kind of like pick up some like discarded weapons from like the Jaffa and stuff.
Okay.
I offer them the pistol I'm supposed to carry.
Role playing wise, I'm taking a knee and catching my breath because holy crap.
Okay. He says, "Oh, thanks for coming in one of those services."
Yeah. No worries. It was easy.
We're not doing this every day.
Jesus.
I'll examine the corpses.
We call that looting.
No, I'm actually medically examining the corpses so I can identify what parts of the body are atrophied and necrotic, so I can go, oh, these things aren't living. Now how can I deal with their regeneration?
I thought you wanted elven boots.
The major is going to be a tiny bit gruesome.
Yeah.
He's going to separate the spine, take off the head, and toss it. So you take it home. You can examine it more thoroughly there.
Oh, certainly, but I'm still taking samples from the remainder of the body as well.
So, is there anybody else that needs rescuing?
Yeah.
Don't say yeah.
You know that there's more members than these four, Major.
Oh God. Yeah. I know.
And they've heard our firefight, so they're going to be ready.
Yeah. They still have Major Kincaid, a couple of the scientists. They were taking us to the gate.
They're taking you to the gate.
Yeah, evacuating prisoners for I don't know, whatever it is that they're planning to do with prisoners.
Probably
They're
try and
waiting for
make
the
you
gate
one
right now.
more.
That means we can't get out because their forces will be at the gate.
Yeah, but it also means we need to intercept them before they leave.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Let's start running.
Put up some cardio here. Again.
In the meantime, Antreyu, give me just a very quick medical roll.
Are they in a position to be able to keep up with us?
They can't. They can't jog. I mean, they can like take a little bit of time to recoup some strength, as it were.
And I can totally administer to them a bit too.
Like we're happy to go with you, but we've been pretty badly beaten in the last little bit, and it's going to take us a couple of minutes. I mean, I understand haste and everything, so.
We're not leaving them behind anyway, right?
Well, if you give us a couple of minutes, we'll catch your breath, and then we'll come with.
Yeah, we have to do that. Like,
It's appreciated. So while they're catching their breath, it's not going to be a full short rest per se, just enough time for them to kind of like, grab some chocolate bars or something, get some calories into them. But it's enough time for Trey to kind of look over these Cauldron-born. And it looks like just like very, very rough. You would need more time to get more detailed information in a medical lab. But you're fairly certain that even though they seem to be resistant to the Zats, it's more in like the Zat overwhelms your nervous system, which is what causes you to fall unconscious and or die and or be disintegrated. It doesn't look like it would have that effect on them, but you're pretty sure the electrical output of a Zat would be enough to temporarily suppress their mechanical replicator-based regenerative capability.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And if we hit them 3 times, they disintegrate. So that's perfect.
So,
But it needs to charge. Does that in between or not?
Zat needs to recharge, and more importantly, with the Zat, you need to it disintegrates a corpse. You don't know whether shooting one of these things 3 times would count as a corpse.
Corpse?
It's definitely.
But we do know it disrupts their regen at the very least.
But yeah, the sheer electrical voltage of the Zat will overwhelm their replicator-based healing ability.
Okay.
Game mechanics, basically like in D&D, in order to shut down a troll's regeneration, you need to use fire or acid.
This applies.
In this case, you need to apply electricity. It's the same sort of mechanic. And it is entirely feasible that if you hit one of these things 3 times with the Zat, it may just disintegrate it.
But because they didn't have a normal functioning nervous system, it appeared that it had no effect whatsoever when it was first used.
Right, because it did not render them unconscious.
It didn't need to heal, right? We didn't see that it was triggering its healing or not triggering its healing.
Correct. But yeah, Antreyu is positive that it will overwhelm their healing capability. And whether or not it'll disintegrate them, that's what experimentation and field research is for.
Were any of the Jaffa carrying Zats?
Let's see.
Loot.
So, I mean, it's possible they do have prisoners. I'll say yes. Between the Jaffa, there is one.
So who wants it? Because do I still have the Zat from the other mission?
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, there's very few people that can actually fire it properly, right? We don't have that proficiency. The only people who do are Omari and Eris.
Yeah.
But yeah, you still have one because you used it last time. That's how you know that they don't exactly work.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So
I have one, and there's an extra one we can give to somebody else.
We're going to have to give it to Omari. We're going to have to trust her that far.
Like, I think, and she'll like nod towards Antreyu. I think Antreyu here has gotten to know me fairly well over the last few minutes. And,
that is definitely one way of describing it.
Well, she was holding it down while I stabbed one in the face. I'm starting to trust her.
Well, I mean, she got knocked down and kept getting back up in his face as I helped pick her up. But even before then.
To be honest, I'm not likely to get off this world without you, so... Don't really
I
have...
guess we're done with the sentimental part because we really need to go, guys.
Well, we're letting these people catch their breath, right?
Yeah.
Looks like they're just finishing digesting.
And drinking some water.
Well, the part of digestion, it means they won't immediately bring it back up through a run.
Okay, guys, I need 5 minutes. I need to put my kids to sleep.
No problem. We'll take a quick 5-minute bio break and stuff, and then we will be back in a few.
Here's that.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
5 minutes, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Well, lots of things to see and stuff. Might as well check that one out. First things. It's like a sportswear type thing. It's been so long since I've been into this. It was so freaking loud. And like nobody in the restaurant was wearing a mask. Like not the staff, nobody. It's just like we just order, and it's like the same parking lot as the hotel, so we just go back to get the food. Travel I'm at the age now when I get like negative comments on snarky comments I make on forums. I'm like, yay! I was on a forum and somebody was complaining about how there hasn't been enough Moon Knight in the Moon Knight series. You're like, I don't know what Moon Knight is being made. And I would gladly watch just Oscar Isaac interact with himself. I was gonna watch Moon Knight on Wednesday, but on the tablets. I can watch it on the iPad. Just wait so I can watch it. He is. Oh yeah. We are. So, yes, you guys have a little bit of a respite, and your survivors from Phoenix 8, they kind of like gather up what weaponry they can from the Jaffa. They're not terribly well versed in it, but everybody knows how to swing a club.
Well, I can hand them my sidearm if it helps them. Having more people with bullets against Cauldronborn is better than less, right?
Yeah, and obviously I have an assigned sidearm I've never used that they can take.
Okay, perfect.
We all have sidearms to give.
So they will arm up as best they can. The basically of the four, two of them are members of the actual military team of Phoenix 8, and the other two are like scientists. So the military guys will take the sidearms. So I
They
don't
can dual
think
wield them.
we don't really have time to teach these guys, but
Oh, great! A little bit of John Woo Florentine here with those two pistols.
yeah. All right, we can lead you guys back to where we were held. It's not terribly far, a couple of clicks.
So is there people still left there, or we need to go to the gate and get?
Well, they were being moved to the gate, so the other team was going to come later, I imagine.
Yeah, we were being extricated. They kept Major Kincaid probably for eventual interrogation, I would suspect. A couple of the scientists to maybe help them out, and we were being shipped off for. God, I don't even know what they do with their prisoners. And
Sadly, I expect experimentation.
Amari kind of nods at that and says, "Nothing good is done with prisoners."
Okay, let's go to them. Let's go to get our people. We'll figure out how to get off world afterwards. Let's get our people.
Excellent. All right. So with the remnants of Phoenix 8 leading you deeper into cities, there's a couple of times where you encounter patrols, but they're easy enough to avoid. The patrols that you encounter are primarily Jaffa, and it looks more like as you're getting closer and closer to where their encampment is, the patrols are just routine, like border patrol sort of things. They're not on the lookout for anything in specific, just kind of keeping an eye open in case anybody should happen upon them. But they are fairly easy to circumvent. You guys are stealthy enough.
Fantastic. So, are they being held in a building or in an open camp like last time? Like,
there is kind of an open encampment. Seeing if I actually have a
because
map.
the last time we faced these guys, there was like they set up cages.
Yep.
That were and they were like in the middle of a. Well, they weren't in the middle of a field, but I'm curious if it's similar or if it's an actual building that we have to get into.
It would be. Give me one sec here.
So far, there's been a lot of cages. There was that prison in session, I think, 1 or 2, and then more cages.
Well, there's only so many ways you can hold prisoners, really. All right. As you guys kind of skirt through the patrols, and it is like a ruined section of town. There is an encampment. It's got like a couple of tents. No cages that you can see, but one of the guys will be like, they keep the prisoners in one of the tents there, and you can see there's like a handful of Jaffa kind of guarding them. No sign of any Cauldron-born though. It's weird. There were more, and I don't see the first prime anywhere.
Dum dum dum.
I'm sorry, there's multiple tents.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 tents and like probably about 7 or 8 Jaffa kind of guarding them.
So with binoculars, is it possible to look around and try to see if the first prime or anybody else is in the tents?
It is. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh. So you kind of scan with the binoculars, and the encampment looks very like loosely guarded. But you do notice that it's a largely ruined city. Incredibly old. Building pieces jutting out. It looks like some sort of cataclysmic event happened at some point in the distant past. It says This is weird. That's like if they had valuable prisoners, you'd think they would be under heavier guard.
Either
is that
that or
the
they've
trap?
already moved out the valuable prisoners.
Yeah. And then because you rolled a 22, do you notice there seems to be activity near a building that is still mostly intact. And in fact, you can see
So the camp would be a decoy, and the building could be the main place.
uh, not necessarily a decoy, but it looks like they've probably moved from their base camp into
A more permanent structure.
yeah, or into a site of interest.
Okay.
It's possible the structure could have the spacing and design to better accommodate their prisoners of interest.
No, they came here to find the sheath. It could
Yes,
be in
and they
there.
could be making them dig it for it.
Okay, this building, ruined building.
Yep.
Are we talking like, it's a ruined structure, like a house? Is it like a ruined warehouse, like a ruined apartment building? I know this is an alien world there. They probably have, but in terms of scope or sizing, in terms of multiple ways to get in terms of like verticality, what are we talking about here?
It's probably it's still primarily intact. It's about 2.5 stories tall and probably a good 50 or 60 meters to a side. So it's like a large building. You would guess maybe a storage facility or a warehouse or something in that sort of size.
2 stories doesn't make it a big warehouse, but it makes it like a depot where they like transition equipment. Okay, fair.
Exactly. Yep.
That implies that there's not a huge amount of windows or not a huge amount of ways to get into the building.
Correct. That being said, since Doyle was the one that did the perception, as you look around and kind of scouting around this building where the activity seems to be happening, although the building is largely intact, there are places where it looks like you could probably get through part of the wall structure. There's places where there's cracks that it looks like a human-sized person might be able to squeeze through and things of that nature.
Is there any way, and I ask Doyle, who's got the binoculars, to get to the roof? Like, is it a slanted roof or a flat roof? And
It's a flat roof. You could climb it. It's about 20 feet or so.
Look, it's a second level roof, and it's a ruin.
yeah.
You've got no way to know if it's going to support any weight.
it's supporting its own weight. I'm not saying we're going to land a helicopter there, but one person, like if they're digging in there, it's stable enough. If they've got movement in there, it's stable enough. And I just need to know if there's a way in from the top.
Yeah. You don't know if there's a way in from the top, but the weight of a couple people wouldn't make any difference to its
Okay.
to its nature. It seems to be made out of some sort of concrete or metal.
We're insignificant, is what you're saying, in terms of weight.
Exactly.
Okay. So, you say there's holes in the walls? Is there any holes on the second floor, or is that only on the first floor?
There's a few on the second floor, and there's some that run from the first floor up to the second.
So we could use that from the roof and just climb down into that hole. So even though there's no holes on the roof, because we don't know, we haven't seen, there's other ways of getting in.
What does the security around this place look like? Can we get to this building? I know that there's the encampment nearby, and you said that there's movement, and there's like they're manning that area. So obviously there's some kind of security, but like, is it easy to get to the wall? Is it easy to get to the crack? Do we have to go to another adjacent building and jump over? Like, vaguely, what does the security concept look like?
There's some patrols. There's some Jaffa patrolling around, but if you time it right and you're stealthy enough, you could probably get to one of those cracks in the walls without being noticed.
So we could sneak in and have a surprise. Get rid of half of them at the same time. So we're gonna sneak in there.
What's the lighting situation like? Are we day still? Like, because I know we came in here fairly quickly, and this last picture of the last encounter, it looks like red, but I don't know if that's
Yeah.
just because it's the picture or if it's getting closer to dusk.
No, it's basically there's um, kind of like a reddish sun.
Okay.
You would estimate time-wise similar to Earth would probably be early afternoon.
Okay. So not there's no way we're gonna wait till nighttime.
Yeah.
Okay. Suggestions. I ask around.
Well, I'd say we need to place some booby traps in case we make too much noise and the Jaffa start running at us. We can thin down their numbers.
The infiltration method seems the most efficient entry, definitely, and we would want to make sure we had an exit through there as well.
Yeah, but we need to plan for failure of stealth, just in case.
We've got the survivors with us too, right?
They're gonna stay behind. There's no
Yeah.
way they're gonna come with us.
We could set up a distraction.
Yeah, similar to how you lured the Jaffa away from the camp when we were rescuing the villagers on the early missions.
Yes. I'd rather not have to rescue you a second time. As much as a distraction would be useful, I think that we can close on the base. It seems to be. It's not like it's not guarded, but it feels like they feel like there is no threat. So they're at the lowest possible state.
But they've heard the firefight.
Right, but there's random explosion. It was not necessarily next to here, right? I mean, they're not sending out active parties searching.
Right.
Chris?
They are not.
Yeah, they seem alert, but not on alert.
When they're doing their job, they're not expecting anything. How long the patrol from one of the decent sized cracks there that we could potentially get in very quickly? If the patrol is on a cycle, how long does it feel like?
It's a couple of minutes.
So we could combine sneaking and distraction. I could set up a grenade with a tripwire along the patrol path, and we could sneak into the building.
My only issue with that is that if we are successful in sneak and that tripwire goes off, everyone is not only going to be on alert, but they're going to looking for this. How did that explosion happen, right? So everyone's going to go into like a heightened state of alert, as opposed to if we sneak in, that heightened state of alert doesn't happen until we decide that it's time to do something.
Yes. Do you have the equipment to set a remote one so that if things are getting questionable, it can then be used as distraction? If not, it can be used later.
That is an excellent suggestion.
I could use some bricks of C4, but I don't have tons of it.
We don't need tons. We just need to make them turn around when we need to.
Well, one brick of C4 would make enough noise. It doesn't
Depends
do a
where
lot
you put
of
it.
damage. Okay. So, Chris, we're gonna set up a brick of C4 somewhere, and trigger and put the remote detonator with it,
Okay.
just as a distraction.
Yep. Perfect. Give me
I'll try to put it close to the patrol, so just in case it could come in handy and we could damage them.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Give me intelligence and
So I've got explosive proficiency,
perfect.
and I'm a minefield expert.
Oh, excellent.
So
So next time we bring mines.
yeah, well, minefield expert. So it's you can bury an explosive, just below the dirt, a rig to explode when a character enters the space. Well, that's not really the case.
You can
Okay.
still dig it below the dirt and just trigger it remotely, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that you can do that. That's no problem.
So a character must
Do you have any
succeed.
loose bits and bobs so you can make a makeshift claymore out of it?
Yeah, a character must succeed at a DC 20 perception check to spot the mine before triggering it. So they need a 20 on perception to see it.
Nice.
And
Excellent.
additionally, I gain advantage on all perception checks to spot mines.
Perfect. Yeah, and you can basically wait until one patrol kind of leaves to give you enough time. I think Sam is also proficient in explosives, so they can help, and then you can make a roll with intelligence and your proficiency bonus at advantage.
So you're saying it's. Sorry, what do you want me to roll?
Intelligence and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so essentially it's 1d20 plus 6.
2.
You're saying advantage?
Yeah, with Sam's help.
Okay, so 2d20 KH plus 6.
Perfect. So it takes a couple of minutes to get it all like primed and set and buried and like patted down, and to the rest of you guys are like, this is scary because if we have to run out here quickly, we don't know where exactly it is. Thankfully, it's on a remote and not a pressure switch. But it is placed, primed, and hidden. Takes like 2 or 3 minutes. But just enough time. Basically, you can get it set and then get back into your hiding position before the next patrol comes around.
Fantastic. So now we're going to be in our start positions, and as soon as we have time, we're going to try to make for that crack. I will head the way.
Okay.
Because if I get shot, that's not as bad.
Okay. So I'm going to get everybody to give me a stealth check.
Stealth check? Stealth.
Stealth. Yep. Difficulty is 10.
Oh, come on!
Sam.
More than 50% of us passed, I guess.
Yes. Thankfully, everybody else did very well. So like, come on, Sam. Come on. Hurry. And you managed to get basically up into kind of like the loose rubble around the building before the next patrol comes around, and they do not spot you.
Okay. And the crack is big enough for us to get in without it.
Yeah.
So what do we see?
Yeah, you do have to kind of like squeeze your way through, kind of like sideways, one at a time, sort of thing. And inside it looks like it's, or it was at one point you're gonna say offices, perhaps. I mean, it's all like, ancient, but your brain kind of equates it to like offices.
It's alien, right? They could have different styles of working than we do.
Right. But you also hear voices coming from a little bit further into the building. Like the crack kind of opens up into a large room with like a central table or dais. It looks like there's computer terminals, you're gonna guess. They look very similar to a DHD, but not quite.
This is ancient, is what you're talking about. These are ancient devices. It's not
Yes.
another civilization.
Correct.
This is actual ancient stuff. Okay.
Correct. And it does look like there's power to these. Like there are like little lights on some of the terminals.
There's no one in the building, right?
There's no one in this room, but you do hear voices from outside this room that the crack opens up into.
The captain's the one who's most familiar with ancient stuff, right?
Yeah, the captain is the most scientifically minded. I mean, uh, they and Doyle and Ares would probably be your best bet for anything technology related.
Well,
Okay,
since I'm unfamiliar with it, I get advantage to understand it.
Yep.
okay. I'm gonna take a look at the room we're in because you described the outside as being like a warehouse. The
Yep.
room we're in, is it how many entry exit points are there? How large is it? Because I want to be able to cover the exits while I ask my scientists to take a look around and to explain to me what we're looking at here.
Yeah. From this room that you're in, this kind of maybe a conference room. Yeah, maybe a conference room. Um, there's only one exit from it, and the whole room is maybe like 10 or 11 meters, kind of rectangular. So like 10 or 11 meters by like maybe 6 meters.
Okay. So I'm going to cover the exit and I'm going to
Okay.
look at my scientists and my engineer and say, what are we looking at here?
Oh, what are we looking at? I assume I roll science?
Yes, intelligence and science.
Can I do engineering?
You, yes, you can with advantage because it's unfamiliar to you.
And just regular science, not with advantage, correct?
Correct. So yeah, between the two of you, as you look at it, like I said, it is very similar to a DHD, but at the same time, it's 1,000% not a DHD. And yeah, you're pretty sure it probably is a conference room. These are computer terminals. It looks like, well, maybe a hologram projector. And
Projector.
Doyle, you managed to figure out which one is the on button.
I'm sure it's a hologram projector. Yes, Chris?
Yes, both of you are sure that it's a hologram projector, and because you rolled above a 15, you can find how to turn it on and off.
So I report that to the major. Do we know where the projection would be made?
Probably like the center of the table or dais.
And we're in that room right now.
Correct.
Want me to turn it on? Major?
No, I just need to know what this room does to make sure that, if this is a meeting room of some kind, that's fine. We need to figure out oh shit. What are the odds that this is going to explain to us what they're doing here?
Well, I don't know. It's a hologram projector, so is it the recording? Or is it linked with some other meeting room somewhere else?
That's my worry is that we push something on here and then that we turn on the building.
With a 24, uh, it's self-contained. It would be very similar to a computer monitor. So
It's a
whatever.
recording.
So it's a recording.
Is there a volume knob so it doesn't make too much
Turn
noise?
it on. I'm trusting you guys. I grip my rifle. I'm turning it on. Say turn it on. Get ready to turn it off.
Okay.
What I'm expecting, by the way, Chris, is something akin to that. You remember the planet where they had sent in the past? They managed to get the wormhole to work, and they lost that dude, and they found him later, and he thought that he was crazy because he was old and he was abandoned forever because they could never get the gate to dial.
Yep.
And then they had found this like DHD looking like thing, which looked like a hologram projector, but it was actually a book kind of deal. I'm
Yep.
thinking it's going to be something like that.
Yep. I think that was the Torment of Tantalus, actually.
Yes, that's what.
Yep.
So we're turning it on.
All right. So when you turn it on, there's this kind of shimmer in the middle of the dais, and this very obviously hologram of a human-looking female kind of materializes in the center of the table, wearing robes. You can't tell what color because the hologram is kind of like all bluish, but like a Princess Leia sort of hologram sort of thing. And as the hologram kind of shimmers, Sam, you can give me a culture check.
Ooh. Ugh,
That's still better than
mediocre.
still higher than a 10. So as this hologram kind of comes into view, this shimmering woman, and just the you look at the clothes, and the clothes look, I mean, robes are kind of indeterminate in time, but you think about it for a second, and then your brain kind of goes, and you're like, scabbard, woman, kind of wavy. That's probably the origin of the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, god damn it.
We get Excalibur.
Fuck. Okay, hold on. Are you implying this is more along the lines of a hollow projector, as in the Atlantis hollow projector room?
Very similar.
Okay.
This. Greetings.
Can you tone your volume down to a 5?
He quiets down. Greetings. I am Malia.
I'm holding the door. I'm looking at the captain. And I'm giving her like the head nod, like, go ask questions.
What, the name was Malia, you said?
Yep.
Greetings, Malia.
Thanks.
Sorry, my brain went a blank. I was like, oh shit, what are we... This is... My brain did a whole blank of like, oh, we have this thing. Oh, what are we doing? It's are pretty standard. We don't like... It's pretty... Stargate doesn't tend to a whole lot like, oh, we are native. We tend to be like, oh, hey, we're explorers. Can you tell us about...
There's no prime directive.
Right. So
Well,
it's usually like...
especially not with the Asgard and the freaking ancients where we are. We're the ones on the lower end of that totem pole.
Right. So it's usually like this would be kind of thing of like, we are travelers coming to the aid of our fellow people. I don't know if we even say that. And basically ask if they could, if I'm trying to think of sort of what direction we would even be going with this. Because we're trying to figure out what they're doing.
We're trying to find the scabbard.
Trying to find the scabbard. Oh, we're trying... Okay. I don't know why I missed that we were trying to find the scabbard of Excalibur. Okay.
Well,
So we were travelers on...
Scabbard. We didn't know it was the scabbard of Excalibur. We just knew it was something called the scabbard.
Okay. I'm... So, ... We're about to ask the Lady of the Lake... We're about to tell the Lady of the Lake that we are travelers searching for the scabbard.
Scabbard would be in the archives. And the image kind of shifts and changes into a kind of like a little bit of a like holographic topographic map. And it seems that the archives are housed within this building, probably not terribly far from where you currently stand.
Whether I can photograph it or whatever, just record the data.
Okay. Has anyone asked you this question before we did recently?
Yes. There are other seekers.
I have that like sweaty moment with my hands.
Are there challenges to recovering the scabbard?
No, why would there be challenges? Information should be freely given.
Understood, but not all see the world that way.
What is this, guys? What is this a scabbard of?
The scabbard offers protection.
From what?
It's not the sword, it's the scabbard.
Oh, I know this. Wait, my character is probably not as knowledgeable about Arthurian myth than I am.
A scabbard can be used to guard as much as to protect the blade.
And in the right case, to heal the holder.
If I like, I think Excalibur had a set of magic, and the scabbard also had a set of magic, and they're not the same magic.
That is correct.
Is it a literal scabbard, or does it look different?
Hey, you ask her. Show us what it looks like.
Yeah.
So we know when we find it. She's a hologram, right?
Show me a picture.
So the hologram changes, and it's just like lines of like code and text, and to Antreu's, kind of untrained but still medically keen mind, genetic sequencing, and it's basically information.
Yeah, it's pure information.
It's a recipe to help heal people.
There's potential genetic modifier tags in there. I remember it from learning ours from the Nyx.
And Treyu, give me a intelligence and medicine roll.
Is there a way of downloading this?
In the archives, yes. Oh, 22. Good, because the difficulty was 20.
Wow.
So just in the quick glance that you get, you can see like that combination of things would cure influenza. Wait, that would allow it to also affect the common cold. That would, I'm pretty sure that sequence there would allow you to completely regress cancer. Like, this information that's presenting, as far as you can tell, would cure any disease.
Yeah, it's very much a cure-all, which is also another reason to make sure R1 doesn't get it.
That would make her unstoppable army be able to cure everything twice.
And we download it. Do we have enough storage space, or?
I'm gonna guess it comes in a crystal. Most ancient things come in a crystal.
And they absolutely come in a crystal.
Do we have a reader we can carry?
You can probably get one from the Tok'ra.
Yeah, we definitely have resources available to get a reader.
A reader is not as complicated as getting that crystal.
Okay.
Where, if I overlay with my mind's eye this building, the topographical map that she gave us, is the scabbard in this building, or is it in another place in the city, or is it?
It was in the building.
It's in the building.
Yep.
How far is that? I mean, the building isn't huge.
The building's not huge, and she referred to something called the archives, which seems to be
Basement?
kind of the rest of the building. And now that you think about it, like every archive, every library always has, the
Index.
Yeah, the index.
So she's the index.
She's the index, and this room is essentially the card catalog room.
Fantastic. Index or Medea. It's the fastest. Can you show me on this map the fastest way to get to this particular place? I'm assuming she's going to overlay a line, or is she going to teleport us there?
No, she overlays a little line, and it's only like outside the door you're guarding, and basically the, next room sort of thing. Probably where those voices that you heard earlier were coming from.
Most likely.
So I'm going to recall everyone, say, turn it off. Go.
We'll press power again.
Okay. Which powers down.
This is kind of that moment where the Scooby-Doo gang is trying to sneak up on the monster. We're going to tiptoe there as quietly as we can and try to stop them from getting this.
And you know somebody's going to botch.
I know someone's going to botch.
Okay. Everybody give me stealth checks.
I didn't botch.
Oh, check that out. Our lowest was a 15 and then a bunch of 16s.
Right. So yes, as you kind of make your way following her directions, you come to a doorway, and there are definitely voices on the other side. It sounds like one voice kind of giving orders. It's like, take that. It's like,
I look to the doctor and I give him that like
Go
concerned
invisible
look.
and go in.
No, well, that's even better. I like that because my concerned look was going to be like, I'm sorry if we can't save it and we need to destroy everything in that room. Because I know he has a vested interest in that data.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He gives me a concerned look. I misinterpret it, go invisible, and start sneaking in.
Oh, shit.
so you're opening the door to sneak in?
Yeah, carefully.
Do I have any lubrication elements I can use to make the hinges not as noisy?
Well, I don't know if ancients used hinged doors. Like everything's a giant, slidey, weird, teleporty,
Yep.
fancy doors, no?
Whoosh.
All right. So Atreyu can give me a stealth check.
No advantage though, because it's the door.
Correct. All right. So the door opens and you kind of peek in, and you do see what looks like a maybe a laboratory or something. There's like a bunch of vats and not vats, like vials and canisters along the walls and crystals and so on and so forth. And you go, okay, this is 100%. This is the archive, and it's a not a super large room, but storage crystals don't take a ton of space. But you do see in here a couple of those Ashen scientists from Magmel that are basically just kind of like collecting crystals and putting them into like storage containers, like attaché case sort of things. You do see a couple more members of Phoenix 8, including Major Kincaid, who is the leader of Phoenix 8. There's a Cauldron Born that is basically like the Major is kind of like forced to sit on the ground, and the Cauldron Born is standing there with the Matok staff like right near him, kind of ready to blast him. And a couple of the other members of Phoenix 8 who have been put to work, probably under threat of killing Major Kincaid, just again collecting crystals. And overseeing it is a definitely a Jaffa with the golden emblem of Arwen emblazoned on his forehead.
Ah, lovely.
At which point he looks over, kind of nods at you, or in your direction because you're invisible. But as the door opens, he kind of nods in that direction, and then the dog-shaped helmet just slams right over him, and he readies his Matok staff. And since it is too late to get into a combat with the first prime of Arwen, we will call game
That's
there.
a cliffhanger point.
That's a cliffhanger point.
It's a
Man,
good cliffhanger, though.
Man, if you had not gone in there, I was like, just throw 17 grenades in there. Luckily, we didn't do that because there's survivors.
Yeah.
But yes, the first prime of Arwen, a Cauldron Born, a couple of Ashen scientists.
Oh, fuck. Cauldron Born again?
Just one this time.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah, just
Instead of
as
first
one to
prime.
keep Phoenix 8 in line.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm still worried about those Ashen scientists.
Yeah,
No.
and to be fair, it's gonna be difficult to make sure that the hostages aren't lost.
Correct.
If
Yeah,
there
no
if there was
grenades.
no hostages, it would have just been like it's like you know how there's that scene where he's like got like that wharf stash, except it's full of grenades, and you just unpin them all and throw the entire stash
Yep.
in there. That would have been something like that.
It might have been planned deliberately.
Uh,
Take all the grenades and the C4 bricks, duct tape everything together.
That's right.
Given the way you guys throw explosives, though, you may not want to do that.
That's also very true. It bounced. The door would close. It would bounce off the door and hit us in the nose.
Or worse, that 50-pound of explosives will be thrown like 30 meters too far.
Bounce off the wall, roll all the way back out.
I mean, that's the plus side is the room is small enough that if you throw it too far, it's probably still going to hit something.
No, it's going to go through the window.
All right.
I don't even know if ancients have windows.
It does save me from the conundrum of do I risk taking the explosive while finding the crystal?
Ancient window technology. Dun, dun, dun.
But yes, so we will call it there on that cliffhanger, and we will pick this up next week.
It was great actually meeting with you all again. The last few weeks have been crazy for all of us, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Absolutely. Chris, I have a
Yes.
question for you. In terms of logistically, because you said there was 1 or 2 games left.
Yep.
Are we on pace?
Pretty much. I like.
Okay.
I know where Endgame is, and I know what information I need to get to you, for that to come about.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on, well, it depends on how you handle this particular encounter.
Do we kill ourselves?
I mean, the game
no,
ends
yeah.
really
No,
quick.
does Arwan get the scabbard data or not?
Right. That is a huge thing. More actually, not so much whether or not he gets it; it's whether or not you guys get it.
Yeah.
Because
Or nobody gets it.
or nobody gets it. But yeah, so probably
On pace is all.
yeah.
I think my question is on a selfish nature is 3 Tuesdays from now, can I make plans?
I would say yes.
At this point, yes. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna keep asking you every Tuesday until we get there, but okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
because if you need to reschedule, the more heads up you have, the better.
Exactly right.
Yes. Where you guys are currently, I don't anticipate it taking more than 2 sessions.
2 more sessions. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a bunch.
Perfect. Alrighty. Well, have a good night, folks.
Have
You
a lovely evening, people.
You too. Have a
too.
good trip, and we'll see everybody next week.
Definitely.
Hey,
Bye.
thanks. Bye-bye.
you